Hey guys, it's Elle. What is up? I hope you guys are all doing amazing. In this video, we are just going to be talking about how to attain happiness. And we have this idea that happiness is outside of ourselves. But I promise you, it is within you. And I am going to explain this concept that happiness is within you, because I see this term everywhere, and I've even talked about this term as well, and I feel like I haven't went into depth about this term yet. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you guys cannot support me in any type of way, just drop a thumbs up or a subscribe, and that will help boost the engagement of my channel. The reason why people say that happiness is not attainable is because they're basing their happiness outside of their self. They tell their self that, oh, I will only be happy when I have this thing, or I will only be happy when this person says that they like me, or I will only be happy when I get my grade back on my test, or I will only be happy when I get my dream car. I will only be happy when I get to the successful state of my life. And all of these terms are so wrong. You have no idea. The real way to attain this happiness that you are striving for is to have that happiness within you now. And this kind of sounds like, what the fuck? Like, my life is at, maybe your life is not the way that you want it to be, and so you tell yourself that you cannot be happy within this state or this situation because of the situation and this state. But all this does, and all I'm going to tell you, is a simple perspective shift. This realization helped me so much gain the happiness within my life, and within every situation I have looked for the happiness and I've looked for the love in it. So I hope that this makes sense, and I hope you get some clarification about what I'm gonna say. So if you do not have happiness right now, when you get that dream car, or you get the job that you really want, or you have the house that you really want, you will find that your happiness is only there for a short amount of time when you get that thing. And then you are not satisfied anymore with how your life is. And then you go and chase another construct of, I'll be happy when I have this next thing. I'll be happy when I get what I want. I'll be happy when everybody's happy, or I'll be happy. The thing is you will not be happy when you get those things if you do not embody the happiness and the wholeness within your life now. You can have that physical thing, and it will give you it will give you some satisfaction for a little bit, but then you'll realize that you're not happy anymore. Why? Because you based your happiness outside of yourself. You think that in order to have happiness, you have to be in a certain situation, you need to be in a certain time in your life that will give you that happiness. But it's so backwards. And let me tell you how I learned that this was so backwards. When I was on the street and I was homeless, I was so fucking depressed. I was at my all-time low. I was like, how the fuck do I be happy with my life when this is my life? And what I had to do was, even in that situation that was absolutely crappy, I had to find that happiness within. And the ways that I did that was still doing the things that make me happy, even in a situation that doesn't make me happy. So what I would do is I would still make TikTok content for you guys. I would still try to bring myself to that place where I could make content for you guys and be happy about it. Another thing that makes me happy is when I edit content. Another thing that makes me happy Another thing that makes me happy is journaling and singing and watching YouTube videos. Luckily enough, I was able to find places with Wi-Fi so then I could do that while I was homeless. So I still try to put myself in situations that made me happy, even though my situation wasn't the greatest. And how my situation changed was because I was embodying this happiness already. And now I want you to ask yourself, or even write down a happy list. Write down things that make you happy. And one thing of mine is making a tea. It makes me happy. Just the intention and doing and making a tea makes me happy. So I know that you can find things, even in your life, or it doesn't matter your circumstances, you can find things that make you happy. And most of us, even I, at a certain period of my life, was not doing the things that made me happy. I was pushing them off to the side because I thought that's how I had to live. I had to live in that survival state. I had to live in that concept of reality that I can't be happy. But what I do now is I know that today, for an example, I knew I had to get home and make content and look at my emails and go and actually do some work. But what I did before that instead was I went for a walk because I knew that that walk would make me happy. And what do I get from a place? Where did life bring me with that place of happiness? I was able to respond to those emails and I was able to create this content in a happy state because I was already happy before I did the things I had to do. Because I made time for my happiness. I made time in my day for the things that make me happy. Whether it is drawing, whether it is, there's so many things that are probably even on your list that you don't really have any motivation to do. Because you're stuck in this loop within yourself that is safe and okay. But if you break outside that box and just start doing things that make you happy, it will bring you a different emotion, and with that different emotion creates different outcomes within your life. And so that's where you find that true happiness inside. I used to think, when I do this, or when I do that, I'll be happy. Or when I get to this place of being, I'll be happy. But you have to enjoy and be happy with the journey to get there. Because you'll never get there if you're not happy with where you are right now. That's another thing too. You could get the thing that you want, and then it comes, and then it's happy, it satisfies you for a bit, and then you're back to state one. You're back with yourself again. You're back with all of that subconscious belief that you are not happy already. And a lot of the times, I would also make excuses for myself to be happy. This was another thing too. I used to base my happiness upon other people. I used to base on, this is another thing that comes up for me in my childhood trauma, is I used to base my happiness upon other people because if somebody else was not happy within my life, I thought that I should be on their level and comfort them at the sadness level. I should be depressed with them and relate to them. But what I had to do was stay in my positive mindset and try to help them out of their bad mood. And if they didn't want to be helped out of their bad mood, well, see a fucking alligator later because you can stay in that bad mood. But I've been conditioned to focus on other people's feelings and emotions before my own. And so when I started to realize I could take over and just be my own identity and be myself and not have to worry about that, I started coming to this place of lack because I felt like I still needed those people in my life in order to bring me that happiness or even that sadness. It's pretty fucked up, right? So that was another way. I based my happiness upon other people. I also based my happiness upon if I had the physical things that I wanted. And it sucked because I got the things that I wanted and then I still didn't feel whole and complete. I still didn't feel good. I still didn't feel happy. But when I started to focus on the things that already make me happy within my situation already, that's where I gained that happiness within. And this may sound easier said than done, but what I'm telling you, we always base our happiness outside of ourselves. We always think it's over there, or over there, or over there, or when you do this thing, you'll be happy, or when you do that thing, you'll be happy. No. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is a choice that you make in your day-to-day life to do the things that make you happy. And it's easier to beat yourself up. It's easier to keep yourself in the same place. It's easier and safer being hard on yourself. It's also easier to do the things that are comfortable, like sit on TikTok all day, like sit in your bed, not even move your body, and say that all these other things make you happy, but you don't end up actually ever doing the things that make you happy. So when you put that action towards the things that will bring you that happiness, you'll be happy. It's kind of a hard thing to grasp your mind upon, and I could understand how you could feel that way. Because you're like, well, I'm in debt. Well, my boyfriend just left me. Well, all of this thing. All of these things. All of these things are just stories that you're telling yourself and excuses that you're telling yourself to not be happy. Because if you lived in a life where you didn't feel lack, you are happy. Because you don't feel like you lack anything. You have everything that you need. And when you tell yourself that you lack something, like, I don't have enough money for this, I don't have enough I can't go and get this shirt because of this, or you're keeping yourself in the same place that you were before. So, when you search within for that peace of mind and that solitude, you will start to realize that you are the observer of your thoughts. And the thoughts that are coming into your brain are not necessarily yours. They are just, you're the experiencer of these thoughts. And it's your choice to let them bring you down and keep yourself in the same place. Or you can say, 3, 2, 1, I switch my mindset, I'm going to go and do this thing. And if that's hard, that might be a little hard for you, I don't know. But so what I'm gonna say is that if you can take inspired action towards what makes you happiest and what makes you whole, like say you're in bed and you're watching TikToks and then you get this great idea in your head, you're like, oh, I should go to the walk and I should go get a coffee, or I should go do some art and I should go for a run, or I should have a bath, or I have this great amazing idea and now I need it to come into light. Follow those actions, because those are messages from your intuition as well as the universe that are giving you ways to be inspired by your life. And I get this all the time. I used to have, not even used to, but I have all of these ideas that come into my mind. And what I used to do was I used to not act on them. I used to just be like, oh, I should really go and do this thing. And then I wouldn't act on it. And what I realize is the universe knows that I'm an open vessel. It knows that I'm open to all these new ideas and things to make my life better. All of these fun things. But me, I'm sabotaging myself by sitting on my phone and watching TikToks. Does that make me happy? No, it makes me disassociate, motherfucker. Seriously, it does. So what I have to do is get my ass up and read a book if that's gonna make me happy. Make a tea if that's gonna make me happy. Put myself back in that vibration of happiness, because you'll fall out of the vibration of happiness. Happiness, every emotion that you feel is necessary. You are meant to feel happiness and sadness. You are meant to see the darkness and the lightness. It's duality of life. But when you are in these low states of being, you can make conscious choices to bring yourself back to that high vibration. And how you can do that is working upon your goals, writing down what you want for yourself, looking at your future and planning out the steps that you need to take to gain that future and having and gaining that happiness already. Because I just make videos because it makes me happy. I have goals and things that I want from making videos. I used to think that I'll be happy when I'm monetized or when I have a big following on YouTube. These are true beliefs that I used to have. But what I had to realize was, what am I actually doing this for? I'm doing this because it makes me happy to sit down and make videos. I'm doing this because I love the journey of where it's going to take me. And I'm falling in love with the journey of how things go and how I'm going to get there. Because if I just get there now and I have all these followers and I'm monetized on YouTube and I'm not happy already, who says that that thing is not going to, it's only going to satisfy me for a certain amount of time? So I hope that this realization and this analysis helped you understand that where your happiness is and how you can attain it in your life. Doing the things that make you happy. Even though you are saying to yourself that you got to do all of these other things, there is time to make yourself happy before you do those things. I love you, and I hope that this helped.